Okay, we're trying this. It was so loud. The recording makes this like beep 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 sound right before it starts. Super loud. My neighbor has been like, apparently he lives in a forest, some kind of like dense forest that I have never seen, but he has to cope with very aggressively using um, like chainsaws. And he does that always. That's not true. Like he's not doing it right now, for example, but he'll start again. He will. So I don't want to be banished from my yard for these videos. Therefore, we are working around it because we are adaptable. And I like that you can see the bees. Do you like that? Can you tell those little specks of light are bees flowing? I'm going to stick with flowing, even though I was looking for flying. That's more traditionally what we describe bees as. That's a traditional action word we use for bees, but flowing, I think, works just as well in and out of the hive. Okay, so let's try to do another massage reunion feet video, but this time I will sit like this. In such a way that you can actually see my feet and my face, and I don't have to be like contorted. And I'm going to do the same thing where I just do one foot, and then you can just sort of, double up. Like you can just flip back or flip over, switch sides when it's time for you. And I'm not going to do the same stuff I did last foot video, because that stuff is, I think that you get the gist, even though the filming was awkward. So I'm going to do different stuff because there's never an end to the things at your feet. Feet are like endlessly receptive, in my experience. My feet, at least, to massage, because they're so hardworking. Okay, so we're going. Oh, my foot today is actually dirty because I've been walking around outside. It's clean. I just showered, but it's not. So, but good news. I want to focus on the top side of our feet, so you won't even see the dirty underside. Still injured. Healing up though. It doesn't hurt. Well, it doesn't hurt at all. It's a little itchy. This is almost 3 minutes of me just chatting about stuff, and now let's get down to business. Okay, so we spend a lot of time thinking about the soles of our feet, and I think that is wise. Do we spend a lot of time thinking about the soles of our feet? No, we spend a paltry amount of time thinking about the soles of our feet. But when we think about our feet, we generally think about the underside of them. And that's great. But what about the overside of them? This is a very similar thing to what we do with our torsos, but in our torsos we only think of the back side of our torsos and never the front side. So this is a video championing both sides of everything. Everything has both two sides, at least two sides. Most things have more than two sides. The video goes dark, and then I have to do that. I just have to. Okay, so today we're gonna work on the top side of our feet. So our feet are super complicated. This part of your foot is made up of a bunch of tiny little bones. Same with your hands. Feet and hands are kind of designed, similarly or sort of almost identically. So tiny bones, many tiny bones, and you need to have these many tiny bones here, and then these long bones, because your foot is intended to be able to conform to the shape of the surface upon which it is resting. So, because your feet originally were meant to make contact with the ground, they were designed before shoes, and so they're such a crafty design. They are full of nerve endings. Like, our feet have more nerve endings than any other. I don't remember numbers well at all, so I'm just going to make it up, and it's going to be the wrong number, but you can you can either quote it and then you'll be wrong, or you can look up the right number and you'll see how close to right I was. Now 5 minutes and we haven't started. But I think it's something like 30% of the nerve endings in your body are in your feet. Could be wrong. But it's a huge, it's like a convention here of nerves, nerve convention, which is used to be really useful and necessary because your feet would touch the ground and then give all these signals to the rest of your body about what it needed to do. Like it could signal the synovial fluid in your joints to become more or less viscous, based on how giving the surface was. So, like if you're walking on stone, you need your joints to be sort of squishy and absorbent, because your impact is harsh. But if you're walking on sand, now you need your joints to be a little bit more stiff and a little bit more like they need to sort of gather themselves and be a little bit more rigid. And the nerves in your feet can communicate that to your body when they're unshod. And then also, they used to actually propel us forward. Like now, not so much. Now it's mostly the muscles in our legs because our feet are locked into this flat shape. So it's all the power we get because of shoes. So we're just this is where we're powering our movement. But when we used to walk on flat surfaces, on not flat surfaces, because we never walked on flat surfaces. Also, we now walk on flat surfaces all the time. We needed to have feet that could power our movement. So they're intended to really be able to bend and flex at many spots, and then engage muscularly with the ground and push us forward. Like swimmers, little swimmers down here. Okay, so I want to focus today on working the muscles between the long bones of your feet. And like in all of these videos, the first thing we're going to do is just become accustomed, is just gain some familiarity with how these bones work, like what they feel like. So grasp your foot at the ankle, if you will, and spend a few moments just gently rotating it, wring it like a rag. We did this, I think, in the last video, but let's do it again. But this time with your hands on top of your foot. Wring it like a rag, just gentle, like slowly and thoughtfully. Try to feel what happens when you move through these little bones up here, and you move these little bones up here. Can't remember all of their names, but one of them is lunate, which I really like. I should have taken, it's like a mosaic of bones. It's really quite beautiful. So just feel it. How do they move? Do they move? How does it feel to your hands? Like, how much movement is there? And then also, how does that feel to your foot? Does it like you kind of wiggling its bones? Or how does it feel about it? Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start using our fingers to sort of make space between the long bones of our foot. So starting from right up here, so follow this bone all the way up to where it attaches. Like follow it, and then you'll feel it kind of come into this hard place here in the top of your foot, and see if you can get right at the very very spot where this bone meets this bone. And then you can feel there's like a little groove between, it's like the bones in a chicken wing, and you're going to get your finger right into that groove, and then you're just going to rock back and forth in that little groove. And then slowly moving down toward your knuckles. You're pulling this way and this way. This way and this way. This way and this way. Just down toward your knuckles. And then little circles. And then you're going to hold your finger steady there, and you're going to wiggle your toe. And just let the muscle sort of pull across under your, pull under your finger. And keep moving down toward your toe as you do it. And so what I'm doing is I'm keeping my fingers stationary, or like sort of holding them still, but then as my toe moves, they kind of glide back because the skin kind of pulls forward under them. Does that make sense? And I go, and I keep getting a little close, starting a little closer to my knuckles, and then letting that, kind of letting the wiggle of my foot sort of slowly inch, make it so that my fingers inch, 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 till I hit that bone. And this is going to help with the fascial sheets. Your feet are wrapped in a fascial sheet that gets so scarry and adhered. And this will help undo that. Okay, so then we're just going to do the same thing on each toe, but it's just a process of start at your actual, at the knuckle of your toe, find the long bone, follow it all the way up, find the long bone of the adjacent toe, follow it all the way up, and then get your finger right into that little divot where the two come together, and then do a little bit of wiggling and rocking in that little divot. And then separating, just like that. It's like separating like this, all the way down to your knuckle. And you can go slower than this. Oh, I should go faster than this. And then stationary fingers, wiggle your toe. And then just let that glide you all the way back to the top. And then that's it. So for today, that's all we're doing. We're just going to go next toe, long bone, follow the long bone all the way up till it meets these little bones in the top of your foot. Find the little space in between. Massage in there. Ooh. For me, that makes it like itch. My toes itch because of the fascial kind of like coming apart thing that's happening. And then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh wait, first apart, 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 apart. And then wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yowza. Yowza. Holy cow. Alright, and that's it. It's already 12 minutes, so I'm going to stop. Man! Whew. Right there for me. I don't know where for you. So when you find a spot, just, spend time on it. Okay, now I'll bring you closer to my face. How is that? You'll probably be happy to know that this man made no noise for this entire video. It's like he just got quiet. The forest has been tamed. Maybe he won't make any noise for the rest of time. That'll be alright with me. Here are the bees. Where are the bees? Oh, you can't see them. It's too dark. Sorry that you can't see the bees. Okay, massage reunion. Oh, there. See? There's the bee. There's the hive. I hope that was helpful. What should we do next? Write me and tell me what will be good. Take good care.